Hi Virgo Seeker, welcome back to the Existential Shift. My name is Morgane, in case you're new. Happy Mabon, cheers. Yeah, I know it was a few days ago, but hey, Virgo, you are the scientist and you are the witch, so may all the scientists realize they're witches and all witches realize they're scientists. Amen. All right, that was Rose Petals Rosé. I rarely treat myself like that. I'm a Virgo in that way. I should be treating myself quite often, and yet I don't. Virgo, you gotta treat yourself quite often. Oh, okay. Guess the Queen of Swords wanted to come out in the reverse. So, you're very analytical and you're very sharp and you're very precise and you see clearly. And so you can't avoid by saying something, because if something is broken, it ought to be fixed. And if something is crooked, it ought to be straightened. And we know the stereotype of the Virgo. But here's the thing. In this case, Queen of Swords in the upright is righteous in a good way. Truthful, sharp, analytical, expressive, verbal, great communicator. And always comes with values. When she's in the reverse, maybe a little bit too sharp. Maybe we want to tone it down. Not because you're wrong. It's still a sword. She's still the Queen of Swords. But it's just how deep the sword enters that doesn't really allow the person in front of you to be receptive to what the sword is representing. They're too busy being in agony over how sharp it is. And then the goal is missed. 9 of Pentacles, but you're still in your strength. It still comes from a place that is very strong and very knowing, that understand things at their core level. If you were to harness your truth in more in an earthly tone, your tone, as opposed to the tone of the sword, people will just be drawn to you and want to listen, as opposed to running away from the sword. It's a difficult balance to master. It's okay. 10 of Swords. Okay, let's move on from this. Literally. Okay. Someone has reached a certain level of self-worth and value, and they cut out someone else that didn't align with that. The cutting was brutal. I'm not saying it wasn't right. It seems to have been right. Virgo is. But you should know that the other person, and you can reverse the roles. Maybe it's you. The other person is in a lot of pain. Now, I'm not saying this to shame you or guilt you. You obviously knew what you were doing, and you obviously did it from a place of proper self-worth. But I feel like in order for you to fully own up to this worth, you had to cut someone out, pretty brutally. Now, I'm getting it's their karma. Sorry, these are general readings, so maybe not. But what I'm getting is that it may have been someone's karma to encounter this rude awakening. still awakening, and it was yours to stand up for yourself. Maybe someone else stood up for themselves to you, Virgo. So maybe that you're feeling this, but this is a Virgo card. So I think it's you that is in your dignity, and it's someone else that is, wow, they're really feeling it. They're feeling the weight of your sword, Virgo. It was the last nail in the coffin. The coffin, the last nail in the coffin. Because here, 10 swords are in his back, none is in his head, and I'm sensing that this is the one that went into his head, kind of thing. I'm so sorry for the very, very, very gruesome analogy. It's just so sharp that it feels like the proper metaphor. Sorry. Anyway. Okay, so a long battle of the wits has ended or is ending, and you are victorious to it. The Hierophant. Yeah, it definitely had to be done. Truth came out. I'm getting that it wasn't that you were too sharp, it's just that the truth was too sharp. The truth was so sharp, so you saying it, being the messenger, made you seem like you were too sharp, but it's just the situation, the circumstance that was expressed, said, called out. But it was definitely the right thing to do. It was a very articulate, or is, or about to, again, time is, I don't want to say that time is lucid, because the very essence of the mechanism of time is, chronological, but energy is lucid. So if we're breaking down the laws of physics and kind of stepping out of time into just vast energy, it affects time vicariously. So time is lucid. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter when you're watching it, and this could be recent past, this could be present, or this could be coming up. That's what I'm saying. So this had to be said, it had to be done. This truth needed to be told. And you're feeling it. And you're feeling like having said these things or doing these things, the thing, has put you right on track, Virgo. Really on your earthy energy. Like the over-analytical thought processes of yours, aka the swords, the air element, have been brutal. You've been using them because of lack of a better choice. You wanted to be kind, but then you had to say the things. And that has ended a certain thing that just was something needed to be put in its place. Ouch. I'm sorry you had to be the messenger of that, Virgo. And if it's you, well, it's a harsh lesson that needed to be experienced. Anyway, a spiritual lesson and a cognitive lesson. Knight of Pentacles. So by doing so, you have created somewhat of a rise within the person or the group or whoever it is that you've done this with too. I'm getting that this Knight of Swords is actually this Ten of Swords person, because Ten of Swords is the card of it's always darkest before the dawn. So it's just intuitively that I'm getting, okay, you gave them the last nail in the coffin that they needed to hear, they needed to understand. And here's the sun coming up kind of thing. a new understanding of the self. What you did was very brave. You put yourself in a situation where you had to be the bad guy or the bad girl, and to say the things that no one wants to hear. No, definitely no one wants to say. But that has done something very positive to whomever was the receiver. Again, Virgo, this could be you, the receiver. I don't know. You tell me. Tell me in the comments. I read all of them. And the ones that are rude and smart ass, I just block them from commenting, because this is my home. You can come and say hi and be polite, but if you don't have something kind to say, shut the F up. Or I'll ask you to leave. Me being a Virgo and a Gemini and an Aries at once. Okay. Also, you might have someone very loyal. Could be a friend, could be a coworker, could be someone that you're involved with any way. I don't feel it's romantic. That, I don't want to say we'll take a bullet for you. It's a little bit too dramatic, but we'll stand up for you. We'll really be like, I got this. I got Virgo. I'm supporting you. Got your back, kind of thing. The Hierophant and Knight of Pentacles. If we go to the Middle Ages, very Knights of, well, that's way before Middle Ages, but very Knights of the Round Table / Knights in general. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what this is about exactly. This Knight of Pentacles and Hierophant. I find it interesting. Anything else for Virgo for October, by the way? The Hangman. Okay, I need to take out another card for this. Yeah, I haven't mentioned this is for October. Or whenever you're guided to this. The Hangman and Judgment. Okay, so this thing is being, it's going way into October. It ain't over. You're serving as some sort of a judge or a kind of making verdicts and making people accountable. You're making sure people are accountable, that they are aware of what it is that they're doing, saying, all that. You're making sure that they're aware and that they take accountability. Some of you might not even wait for an apology. For example, you'll just flat out go to the person's face and be like, you owe me an apology. And they'll be like, well, what for? And then you'll spill it out, and then they're like, you're making, I don't want to say this, it's like, you're making people, you're getting people hung for their actions. And it's like you're fearless. It's like you don't care of how you will be perceived or whatever. You're doing what's right, what you know is right, and you're on a roll. Wow, Virgo. I don't want to step on your toes during October or now or ever, in fact, if you resonate with this message. If you're in that place now, or you're feeling like you're about to go into that place, it seems like the cards are encouraging. You're waking up. You're no longer pretending to not see or pretending to not know out of kindness and allowing people to have their lies. You no longer play that into that role of, acting like you don't notice. Like you don't know that they lied, or you don't know that they made you into a scapegoat of something. Like you don't know, just to avoid conflict or just to dumb yourself down to be more likable. You don't do that anymore. Or at least you're encouraged to not do that. And it's waking up inside of you. It's starting to wake up. You're starting to call people out left and right. Not that you haven't been doing it so far, Virgo, but it's getting heightened. I have to say, I like what I'm seeing. The Fool, it's very liberating to be who you are. The Fool is an energy of freedom and truth with no restriction. There's no pretense. There's no political correctness. There's no facade to be like. There's just freedom of self-expression. It's the court gesture that says everything and anything, and no one dares to punish him or hold him accountable for being rude or stepping off their line, because, well, they're saying it with such lightheartedness and, you know, like freedom of expression. You're almost like you're looking at them like, am I supposed to be mad at that? They said it sounded, but they said it in such a, everybody was laughing. So this is amazing, Virgo. You're stripping, as you strip people off of their bullshit, you strip yourself off your own bullshit. Or maybe it happened vice versa. Maybe you've been stripping yourself off of your own bullshit, which allows you to, you know, which gives you the go to strip other people's off their own bullshit. You know, lead by example kind of thing. The Hangman is about changing perspective and being mutable, being all kinds of things, and looking at things from different perspectives. Truth is, you know, elusive and fluid. But certain truths are not, right? Certain things just are. If someone is bluntly lying about something to avoid taking accountability over something, yes, the Hangman will see their pain and see how they grew up and what made them this way and all that, and will just not say anything to not hurt them and to enable them to stay in that. But you know what the Fool will do? The Fool would be like, yo, I want you to be free just like me, and I want you to be aware of your own bullshit so you can evolve. So here, let me tell you something about what it is that you're doing. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Looking at things straight in their face and be like, and just saying it. Speak the truth or forever hold your peace. Speak the truth or forever hold your peace. Virgo is speaking the truth. And shamelessly. And the reason why I'm supporting this, it's because it's spiritual, it's awakening, it's a catalyst for people's growth. So no, you're not nice, Virgo, but you're so kind. Kind enough to not fake nice for the sake of being accepted. To embetter this world and to embetter the person in front of you. Boom. Sorry for the sirens. I'm going to take it as confirmation. Why? Because it's convenient for me. This is me calling myself out on my bullshit, see? I wanna raise a toast for you guys again, because this is marvelous. Hold on. Sorry. This is worthy of a celebration, Virgo. All right, Virgo. This is for you. Keep doing what you're doing. Okay. Now, let's see further into the narrative, please. What else is happening for Virgo for October? How was your birthday? how was your birthday? The moon, it was confusing. Certain truths were revealed to you that snapped you out of a very confused state of mind. Maybe it's this person you had to call out. Here's what is going to happen as you liberate yourself with your expression of sincerity and honesty. You will encounter more and more murky waters. Sounds counterintuitive. You think, well, if I speak the truth, then things should open up. Energy goes to where it's needed. Light is seen most in the darkness. Emptiness fills up with fullness. So, shadowy, murky energies will be filled with you. These are not things that never been around. These are things that are now you are going to see, because so far you've been a flashlight that was turned off. You just didn't see certain things. But now that the flashlight is turned on, oh my God, you're on. Oh my God, Virgo, you're on. You're going to see so many things that might seem like they're sudden or new or but they were always there. Because, okay, let's imagine you entering a basement that wasn't cleaned for a really long time, that had the entire building throw all their trash into this basement floor. So there's layers and layers and layers of stuff, old furniture, luggages, suitcases, tools, all kinds of things, and it's dusty and whatnot. So you clean the first layer and you think to yourself, but the more you clean, the more unveils underneath. Because the deeper you swim, the darkest is the depths. It doesn't end. It ends when your light grows so big that you're just an entity of light. So you're no longer in this condensed reality. You're no longer alive in that sense. Meaning, as long as we're here alive in this 3D expression of us, the journey keeps going. Because the more we brighten things up, the more we get brightened, right? The more you clean through the gunk, the more room you have around you. You breathe better. And that is to encourage you to keep going. It's always a challenge intertwined with the reward of doing. If you hold yourself from speaking, Virgo, you will go back to this confused place in your head. It will bring you back to having people in your life that will bullshit your head off. Because you've seen and you've noticed so much. You've learned that by expressing yourself as a child growing up, that it gets encountered with a lot of resistance. So you've learned to dumb it down, to moderate it. But as you moderated it, you've grown accustomed to it from the inside. It no longer became an act. It became you. You know, when you put on a costume for so long, it becomes a part of your skin. So you literally stopped seeing. But something recently, I feel like it's from around February, maybe like early on 2019, you went through this process of at least 10 months, 9-10 months or so, of seeing things much more clearly. But you still you were still under the mechanism of moderating your communication. So it was harder because you see, you say, the dissonance hurts. But instead of dimming down what you see to fit what you can say, now you broaden what you say to fit what it is you see. And that is healthy. And that is great. Anything else for Virgo for October? The Devil. Damn it, Virgo. There's a very strong earth energy on the table. I have all the earth signs. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. I have strong Piscean energy. I have strong Aquarius energy. Aquarius and Pisces, they're the most spiritually consciousness evolved of the zodiac, because they went through all the signs. This is the part of you that is very aware now and very conscious. You're still living on planet Earth, right? We have here the Hierophant and the Devil. There are two different sides of the same scale. Scale? Not scale. The same essence, two different sides to it. The truth and the lie, the awareness and the fear, doing the right thing and succumbing to the easy thing, and so on. The Devil on his own isn't necessarily bad. It's very much the pagan earth aspect of us. It's very healing. It's very sensual. It's very real. It's real as F. I'm getting someone with love of the abundance, which is great. You know, love of the good life kind of thing. I needed this to trigger it. So, someone's love of the good life, which is great, I'm not shading it, they went too much into it, and they had to numb their sight and their intuition and their very sharp knowing, because the surrounding that, their environment that supported this good life kind of thing was very unaware. But they were so intertwined. Maybe it's a group of friends, maybe it's family, maybe it's a partner that was so much a part of this good life of theirs. They in specific were very unaware and superficial. So it's almost like, to serve one aspect of you, Virgo, you had to numb down the aspect of you that really sees right through them. And now that you can see better, you're looking around you and you're like, this person is a sham. This person is a fake. You're not my friend. You betrayed me. And it's like everything is, you're just seeing it all from a different perspective. You can have the good life with people who enjoy the good life, but that they are also truthful and conscious and awesome. It's not either or. It's a very dangerous perception to think that it's either or. It's either spirituality and truth or earth and pleasures. How do we reach God? Unity, connection. We connect to divinity, surprise, surprise, not from the crown chakra, but from the root chakra. It's all a circle, it's all a cycle. Earth is the womb of this universe, of this creation. But if you see it as evil, and if you see that as one thing and spirituality is another thing, then you're forced to choose. So you're either in a constant conflict and battle with yourself, or you're either good or bad. No. Earth holds truth. Grapes hold truth. Rose petals, rosé holds truth. Cheers to that. You can be beautiful and truthful, Virgo. If you're a woman, you can wake up in the morning, do your hair, your makeup, wear your best clothes, walk around like a peacock, and still be incredibly conscious, truthful, kind, aware, and healing to others and to yourself. And as a man, same thing, but whatever it is that you like to do. It's about owning up to who you are that makes you truthful, not about shaming yourself. If you pretend to be the Hierophant, you're actually the devil. But if you live as both an Hierophant and a devil, because the crown chakra and the root chakra are both an important part of us, that's when you're real as F. Still, this combination of devil and the moon. Beware of deception, Virgo. There is someone around you that really likes to lie to you. It's almost like they enjoy seeing how much they can get away with someone as smart as you. Just to be like, haha, I fooled Virgo. They think they're so smart. Seriously, it's an egoic, weird thing. I find it boring, but they think they're interesting. So be aware of that. Anything else we can clarify for Virgos in this sense? Two of Wands. I feel like you're starting a new road, a new path with, honestly, different people. Five of Swords. Yeah, and you're like, who do I take with me? Who do I leave behind? Don't have doubts in regards to people whom you know are fake. If you want, it's like this new start is facing right to this narcissistic energy on top of the devil. It's like, I'm going to start anew with great people, but you're taking with you someone or something that represents the opposite of that, that is a part of what used to keep you really, really down, and you gotta decide, Virgo. Two of Swords, you don't want to. There's someone in your life you don't want to see the truth in regards to them. Like, you see everything and everyone except for that person or that thing. I think it's a person specifically. I have two twos here. It's something, it's a one-on-one thing. It's a personal connection. Also, I'm seeing someone that, no, it's the same thing. It's just in a different way of expressing it. It's stepping straight into deception. It's almost like You're going to deceive me. I'm going to go there just to see if I can tell what's going on. You're doing it's also you. It's not just someone else that is like, let's see how much we can fool Virgo. It's also Virgo being like, let's see how much someone else can fool or cannot fool me. Like, you want to test yourself in a way. I don't think you're conscious of it, or maybe you are. I'm gonna finish up with animal spirit messages, and I'm going to continue this in the extended. I'm going to focus on love, on you, of you and your person of interest, whoever you have on your mind. So yeah, you and your person. So the extended, the link to that is below in the information box. And I will also finish up with messages from the runes. So I'll pull out runes and do a rune reading. If you want to book a private reading with me, we're not done. I'm going to do this. Don't worry. Be patient. I'm going to pull out another card for this as well. If you want to book a private reading, it's the existentialshift.as.me. You can be anywhere in the world. If you have PayPal, we can talk. There's all kinds of options you can choose from. The link to that is also in the description. And I have Tarot Masterclass Bunkai. It's an online library of tarot that I've created, where you have 90 classes and one class for each tarot card, and you can take all of them, or you can just take whichever ones you like. And what else? Follow me on Instagram. It's the Existential Shift. What else should I announce? 2019 Ministers of Magic is still up. We have 3 months to go, so you can check that one out. It's the extended for 2019. And I think that's it. Okay. Let's close this thing up for Virgos for October, please. Anything else I should tell Virgos for October? 10 of Wands. There's a cycling back here. We had 10 of Swords, now the 10 of Wands facing in. It's like, Virgo, you're doing so well. I don't want someone to feed off of it and be like, oh, Virgo is looking so great and doing so well. Why don't I go back to their life and see how much I can fool them again, or see how much I can control them? And you seem to have some sort of this sense of moral obligation to them. I don't know why, but it's like you're going to feel such sense of relief and flow, and then just, if you were to go back there, you'll just go right back to feeling heavy and controlled. And that's up to you, Virgo. It's completely up to you, because once awakening comes, that's not the final part. Then comes the test. The thing that always seems to drag you back, that would really determine for yourself, for your own higher self, if you're ready or not for the next stage, to actually live by this newfound self-knowing, or if to go back to another cycle of the same type of dynamic. It's a crossroad. It's a choice. I see some of you going back. I'm hoping this will be a video that will strike a chord and maybe keep you on your toes. If someone is trying to whatever you, test the hell out of them. Ask them all the questions. Call them out on all the things. And really listen to what they say. But most importantly, Virgo, listen to what they don't say. It's not what people say, it's what they don't say. It's not what people say, it's what they do. What they do and what they don't say. It's all there. You can see it, Virgo. It's all there. Don't blindfold yourself. This is not emotional connection. This is being addicted to someone, honestly. This could be someone that makes you feel lower than who you are, and the only reason why it makes sense to you is because you used to feel like you're lower than who you really are. Maybe they know you as your past self before you've really grown and evolved and succeeded. You know, it's like going into a high school reunion and people still talk to you like you're the class geek or something like that, and you're like, something like that. So you can either go back to playing the role of that class geek or whatever it is, just to kind of make everybody happy and comfortable and in the familiar, or you can shut them down swiftly. Swiftly, please. Not for you, not for me. All right, animal spirit, please, for my Virgo seekers, or cross watcher, or intuitively guided, or other placements. Animal, oh, too many. Animal spirit, please, for Virgo. Animal spirit for Virgo. Okay. This actually really connects to what I'm saying here. The buffalo and the crocodile. Now, I love that it's like this and not like this. The buffalo spirit, very, very high spirit, very blessed omen, something very spiritual and earthy. It's an energy that combines the crown chakra and the root chakra together. It's very heightened with its neurotransmitters. Your brain is like on fire. It's like once you see one thing and then you see another, and it's like you can't stop. It's a 360 vision of wisdom. And it's the earth symbol, a chemical symbol. Now, here we have the crocodile. This is you, Virgo. And here we have the crocodile. It's this energy that used to be behind you. They saw you as the buffalo, but you didn't see them as a trickster crocodile. Now, I wouldn't always take the crocodile in that sense, but I am right now, especially comparing their very murky, watery, trickster energy to this very wise, truthful energy. It used to be behind you. You didn't see them for what they are. You had the vision, you had the potential, you saw forward, and they were coming right after you, kind of feeding off of you in a way. It doesn't have to be one person, by the way. It could be a group of people. They don't have to be like a community type of group of people. This could be like different people throughout your life in different situations that just hold the same frequency or the same type of dynamic to you. But here you are watching them. Tables have turned. You're seeing them for what they are. I don't want to take it as if they're leading you. I don't think that's what it is. I think you've learned that to not disrespect your enemy is also a type of wisdom. You used to take for granted. You used to assume that you see so well. You would have known if someone wasn't okay with you. It made you a little bit arrogant, numbed you down a little bit. You numbed yourself down. Anyway. So what you thought you will see clearly, you didn't see. And now suddenly, now you see them. Now you know. Now that you know, Virgo, are you gonna let this dynamic continue the way it did? Probably not. I hope not. Let them think they're ahead of you. There. As opposed to dragging on your tail. This could also be someone that pretends to be your friend but is actually very jealous of you and what you have. And I don't want to make you paranoid and be like they're stealing from you, but let's just say that they're learning from you, and it's like they're around you mostly to see what it is that you're going to do, what it is that you're doing or you're saying, just to go around and say it as if it's theirs. Let me be around Virgo and see what Virgo does, and then go and do it and pretend that it's mine, kind of thing. Or just say it, like generally not give Virgo credit. And I feel like you've learned or are about to learn that you ought to be quiet with them and not put all your cards on the table and not completely trust their friendship, because then they might do something with it. Good, Virgo. Good. You're seeing it's always easy to see the outside. It's much harder to see the inner circles, because you're so trusting as well. Once you bring someone into your circle, you fully trust them. So it's way harder to see what's right beneath your nose, right? No one can see here. Yeah, I just crossed that. Whatever. And it's the closest, but no one can see beneath their nose. I feel like you can see beneath your nose now. Okay, I'll see you in a second, and the extended link is below. Subscribe if you haven't. Love you guys.